Rodimus Prime is the Gohan of Transformers. Always in the shadow of his predecessor and got set up to be the new protagonist of the series, and then just got booted out again in favor of the dead person they replaced. But Rodimus is one of my favorite Transformers ever, and Gohan's also one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters, except for when he was in that green tracksuit. It's interesting to have a leader constantly struggling with the weight of their predecessor's legacy, but I kind of feel like this has never really been explored properly for Rodimus, at least in any of the media that I've seen. I don't know, I haven't read all the Transformers comics. Have you seen how many of those there are? Anyways, I've always thought that Rodimus has gotten kind of shafted figure-wise. Like, most of his toys are just kind of hot rod, but they just bake the color a little bit of like a deeper red. But today, we're gonna be looking at two figures who gave Rodimus his own mold. Leader, Power of the Primes, Rodimus Prime, and Commander, Kingdom Rodimus Prime. Are these accomplices to murder worth picking up? Let's take a look. Released in 2018, Power of the Primes Rodimus is an interesting figure. Let's stick with interesting. See, all the leaders from this line had this gimmick where like you could just rip them apart, and they had like a little inner robot. It was a thing. Primal had Little Prime, Optimus had Orion Pax, and Rodimus had Hot Rod, who we will talk about later. Just hold your horses. We'll get to him. First, we're gonna look at this big boy, who is not my favorite aesthetically. Proportionally, he's pretty good. Other than his spoiler, it's really, really small. And he's got some nasty kibble, and not the kind I feed my rat. That might be one of the worst jokes I've ever made, like in my entire life. Somebody should beat my head in with a metal hammer for making a joke like that. That's a little extreme though, isn't it? It's not even really a joke, it's just kind of nothing. Anyways, his back is really ugly, same with the back of this wrist. And he's got these creepy little hands poking out from behind his chest. Don't like that. And these god-forsaken stickers. I don't know what sick bastard over at Hasbro decided to put stickers on these like Power of the Primes figures. But thank God they stopped doing this, because it sucked. These stickers were terrible. They always peeled off. These ones actually weren't as bad as the Titans Return ones, but still not good. And also the paint on this guy starting to chip a little, but that's kind of to be expected. He's 7 years old, and I have not been playing nice to them. We've been playing rough. But I do like the head sculpt on this guy. 10 points to Gryffindor. Remember that time we're in the House Cups in like the first movie, Slytherin just won it, probably for good behavior the whole year and, you know, answering all their questions, but then Gryffindor just won anyway because Dumblenuts was like, they killed a big dog, so they get to win. That's like the biggest scam of the century. Dumbledore's lucky there wasn't like a school casting. Articulation is basic, but no waist articulation. This figure's kind of built in a way where you would never be able to have waist articulation. Actually, maybe he kind of could, I don't know. But he does have wrist swivels, and he is really solid. These shoulders are stinky though. They just feel awkward to move and don't feel like they stretch far enough. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? I don't like them. Rodimus comes with a rifle, and his chest can open to reveal a piss-covered matrix. Why is it yellow? The crystal part of his matrix can also pop out, and you can fit any headmaster you want in there. You're really sick, you know that, right? Rodimus also has no way to hold this thing. Great, useless. Scale. Here he is next to Power of the Primes, Legends, Battle Slash, Deluxe Jazz, Voyager Grimlock, Leader Optimus, and Cyberpunk 2077. This game's actually pretty good now. You should give it a shot if you haven't already. So Robotman, it's okay. The colors and proportions are pretty good, and I have to admit he does just kind of have a presence to him. But when you stare at him for too long, he just kind of starts to look uglier and uglier. But if you rip his arms off and play around with the mangled torso, you can transform it into Hot Rod. He looks weird. Arms and legs are way too long, and his head sculpt looks more Rodimus than Hot Rod. Paint's also chipping on the head and chest. The big rifle can also split apart to make some more Rodimus-sized blasters. Articulation is kind of basic. I mean, he's missing waist and ankle articulation. Like his daddy, his shoulders are weird and don't feel good. Why are these knees so low? He's got rickets.
I've had it up to here with these damn rickets.
He is pretty solid though. Yay. Scale. Legends Battle Slash, Deluxe Jazz, Voyager Grimlock, Leader Optimus, Cyberpunk. Look what I can do in this game. I'm not a fan of you. How's the alt mode? Here we have the car mode. It's okay. It looks kind of blocky like it's from a PS1 game, but if we grab the mangled remains of Rodimus here, this bit, we can convert it into the trailer. Again, it looks decent. My biggest issue here is the hands. I don't like the parts forming on the transformation at all. And they're also just kind of sticking out really ugly in the vehicle mode. What even is this vehicle mode? Truck? Is this a truck? I think so. It can roll. I want to rip these stickers off and shove them down someone's throat. So overall, Rodimus is okay figure. Why am I holding him like a baby? Because that's not how you hold babies. This figure is a jack of all trades, but master of none. If you want Hot Rod, you got better options. If you want Rodimus, just get the figure I'm about to transition to right now. The Transformers will be right back after these messages. Commander Kingdom Rodimus was released in 2021, and holy guacamole, this guy's got the sauce. He's so sick. I love him. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back it up here. This guy is the most underappreciated commander by like a long shot. He was the first commander to come out that was like smaller-ish. Smaller, he's like really tiny, but before him was Skylinks and Jetfire, and those guys were like the size of a house cat. They were huge. And I feel like some people really didn't give him a chance, but you should, because he is really good. And for like 2 years after he came out, this guy was on clearance everywhere, like they could not get rid of him. Aesthetically, he's great. Proportions here are perfect, and look at all this mechanical detail. And he's got a commanding face sculpt. Like, look at this guy. He means business. Don't mess with this dude, seriously. And the colors, children. Look at the colors. No hollow points and looks good from every angle. Also, this guy is hefty. Like, he feels really dense. I'm not reassembling this guy. He actually feels a lot heftier than the Power of the Primes version. He does have a lot of painted bits, but for the most part, it's really durable. So you can play rough with this guy, but not too rough. Come on, be a gentleman. His articulation is basic with wrists that can swivel and are on a hinge. His finger can point, and his other 3 fingies are on hinges. Shoulders are also on butterfly joints. Articulation here, great. I do wish he had a tad more neck, like just the smallest amount. I think his head is kind of tight to his torso. Also, this tab on the back of his ankle won't really tap in for me. Might just be an issue with my copy, though. He's also extremely solid, and all these joints are super tight. Scale. Here he is next to Legends Battle Slash, Deluxe Jazz, Voyager Grimlock, Leader Optimus, Cyberpunk. They added this feature into the game where you can make Keanu Reeves different. I don't like this. And this guy also has a smorgasbord of accessories. Let's start with the Photon Eliminator. Looks pretty good and can even fold up, but it has nothing on the Sword of Primus. TF Wiki tells me this thing is from Regeneration 1, but I'm just gonna have to take their word for it. I haven't read Regeneration 1. The only Transformer comics I've read are that IDW and like half of the Skybound one, I don't know. I'm a fraud, okay? This thing is cool and can even tab onto his back like he's future Trunks. His chest can open to reveal a matrix of leadership, which he can hold and comes with this effect piece. This is really cool. And we of course have the main accessory justifying this price point, the trailer. Everybody's favorite part of Rodimus, the trailer. This thing is hefty and even has a compartment to store all of his other crap. Also, this thing likes to untab a lot, annoying. But if you give into the shoddy tabbing, you can turn the trailer into the mobile defense bay. This thing is based off the G1 toy and looks pretty good. The cannon can fold out and is on a ratchet and can swivel around so Rodimus can commit robicide at all angles. This guy's a war criminal, man. No one needs this much firepower. Also, the trailer has these little ports here for any of those Earthrise space system figures to connect here. But let's be honest, no one's doing that. You're not doing that, and if you say you are, you're just a scummy little liar. And to go with all these instruments of destruction, Rodimus also has a bunch of blast effects. But no trailer is complete without something to tow it. Transform, that's the transformation transition. And here we have the car mode. What is this even called? A fancy sports type futuristic vehicle? That sounds right. That's what it's called now. That's canon, by the way. Now, if you have Studio 86 Hot Rod, you'll notice that these transformations are really similar. Like, they're almost identical. But that's not a bad thing, because 86 Hot Rod's transformation was great. Engineering was fantastic there. It's the same case here. The engineering here, really, really good, and the transformation is super fun. And this alt mode looks really good, but looks even better once you slide on the trailer. It's cartoon accurate, let's say that. I don't know if it does look better. I kind of like just the regular one, honestly. But this is okay. There are also these black smoke effects you can tab onto the smokestacks here. That looks pretty cool. Car type vehicular thing is good. I like it. So do I recommend Kingdom Rodimus? Yeah. Absolutely. I know a lot of people think he should have just been a leader and not came with the trailer, but if that had been the case, this guy would not be nearly as well engineered as he is and would be missing like all the good articulation. Fingers and butterfly joints, say goodbye to those. I'm glad this guy was a commander. I would not be surprised at all if at some point we see a Studio 86 reissue of this guy and he's got a new paint job or something. He's just gonna be brighter colors. So yeah, that's it. Power of the Primes Rodimus. Not so hot. Kingdom Rodimus, super hot. It's like he's so hot he gave me this burn mark, this burn scar on the back of my forearm. I've got an Instagram. Follow it if you want. The link is in the description. I will be posting photos of beetles very shortly. Good beetles too, not the kind that bite. We don't post those kind of beetles. Morgan Glue Trap is coming back in 1 month, so...